Today's topic is going to be wheel spacers. It's going to be a two-part series that's going to discuss why somebody would want to put wheel spacers on their vehicle, and if you choose to, how you would select a quality wheel spacer set for your car. One of the reasons you want to put wheel spacers on your vehicle, if you're going to add a big brake kit to your vehicle and you need more clearance for those larger calipers. Another reason that you might want to add spacers if you're putting on a different set of wheels that have different offsets, so you can correct the offset in comparison to your original wheel. Another reason a lot of people do it is just simply for more stability by widening the track of your car. Then there's the most favorite, and that's to fill out those fender wells and make the tires just look larger on the vehicle. To fully understand what makes a quality wheel spacer, you have to understand how the actual wheel fits on the vehicle via the hub and the brake rotor. If you look at the wheel hub, there are two step lips right here. The larger lip is what centers up the brake rotor. It uses a locating screw to hold it onto the hub. The larger or smaller diameter but yet taller raised lip is what centers inside of the wheel of the vehicle. That hole in the wheel has to be exactly the same diameter as this raised lip on the bearing. In order to center the vehicle's wheel onto the hub, you're also using lug bolts that'll have a taper to them, or they'll have a slight ball shape to them. They assist in that centering, but the true centering occurs from this raised center lip right here on the vehicle. That's called hub centric. If this piece right here is the correct diameter with the wheel, it's going to be a hub centric wheel. There are some aftermarket wheels out there that have a larger center bore that do not center on this. They're totally relying on the lug bolt to center it up. Those wheels will always give you balance problems. So now let's take a look at what makes a good quality wheel spacer. Now that you know the different features of the rotor, the hub, and the wheel, you have to look for a wheel spacer that is vehicle specific. Don't purchase any universal wheel spacers. Here's a universal wheel spacer, and if you look at this wheel spacer, it's just a cast piece of aluminum. It has a variety of holes in it. Most of the holes are oval shaped or triangular shaped, and this spacer right here is designed to fit almost any vehicle that has a 4 or a 5 lug pattern. The center bore is not specific to any particular size, and if you look real closely, there are small casting marks right there, right in between each lug bolt. This is where the air would come out if they're pouring aluminum, and that air hole right there is keeping the piece from laying flat on the actual rotor surface or flat on the inside of the wheel. If you look at our vehicle specific spacers that we have here that are made by RaceMax, you're going to see that these are actually machine pieces of aluminum. They have specific center bores that are made for your particular vehicle. They have a unique bolt pattern which are for your vehicle, and they'll also have the correct bolt size. Now on a small 5mm spacer like this, one that you would possibly use for just a little extra wheel clearance, let's say you're trying to get a little bit more caliper clearance or tie rod clearance or something that's giving you a little bit of an issue by installing a different vehicle's wheel on your car, like another BMW wheel on an earlier BMW or what have you. You'll notice on a 5mm wheel spacer, there's not enough material there to do a hub center raised piece on it. So on that particular wheel spacer, if you install it, you're going to put that on the original center bore, and you're going to notice that there's still protrusion from the original hub coming through. So you're going to still have the centering device that's going to center up in your wheel. Now when you get a little thicker than about 12mm, you're going to be faced with a problem of this little flange is going to go away. So for anything in that range, you want to make sure that you have a raised center hub. And that raised center hub is basically just going to duplicate the centering device, the centering ring in the middle. It's going to duplicate that right on the wheel spacer. So if you take this particular wheel spacer and put it on that particular hub right there, it'll fit right down snug And you'll notice that there's absolutely no play there. There might be 0.002 play. So now you've got essentially the same situation as if your vehicle had no spacer on it at all. You've got a raised center hub that'll fit precisely into your wheel, and it'll give you an exact fit and exact centering device. Now what you'll have to do when you install spacers that are thicker, you'll have to replace your stock lug bolts with extended lug bolts. If you purchase the RaceMax wheel spacer kits, you'll get longer bolts that go along with the spacers, and you'll get an extended length locator bolt for your brake rotor. So when you're finished, what you're going to do here is you'll center up your locator bolt, and what you're going to do now is you'll take an Allen wrench and you're going to absolutely lock down the spacer with the rotor to the hub. Now you've got a one-piece precision machined centering ring for your wheel.